Once upon a time, in a distant kingdom of love and harmony, in a beautiful palace surrounded by roses, a beautiful girl named Cinderella was born into a royal family. Her father was a prestigious nobleman with wealth and a palace, and her mother was a kind and affectionate lady. Cinderella grew up in a luxurious environment full of love and care. However, when Cinderella was young, her mother died of a sudden illness, which made her father very sad. After some time, Cinderella's father decided to remarry so that his daughter wouldn't feel lonely, so he married a woman from a noble family, but she was cold-hearted and had two vain daughters. Soon after, as Cinderella began to grow older and more beautiful, her father died, and the girl became a complete orphan. Cinderella was at the mercy of her stepmother, who took over her father's property and made Cinderella a servant in her own house. Although Cinderella was of royal and noble origin, her stepmother deprived her of her rights and made her live a difficult life, forcing her to do all the household chores while she and her two daughters lived in luxury. Cinderella had animal friends, mice and birds who loved her and helped her with household chores, while the queen's cat was naughty and always followed them and spoiled their fun. One day, the royal palace announced a grand ceremony where the prince would choose his bride. The party was open to all the girls in the kingdom, including Cinderella. Her stepmother and two daughters prepared for the party in fancy dresses, but Cinderella, even though she was royalty, was not allowed to go. She tried to make an old dress with her mouse friends to wear, but her stepmother deliberately tore it, leaving her crying alone. While Cinderella was crying in the garden, a kind fairy appeared before her. She knew that Cinderella deserved better, so she decided to help her. With a magic touch, the fairy turned the pumpkin into a royal carriage, the mice into horses, and gave Cinderella a sparkling dress and a beautiful glass slipper. But the fairy warned her, "You must return before midnight, for then the magic will end." Cinderella went to the party and amazed everyone with her beauty and elegance. No one knew she was the girl who lived in the shadows in her stepmother's house, especially the prince, who fell in love with her at first sight. He danced with her all night, but he didn't know her true identity. As the clock approached midnight, Cinderella remembered the fairy's warning and ran away, leaving the prince bewildered. During her escape, one of her glass slippers fell on the steps of the palace, but she kept running to get home before the magic disappeared. The next day, the prince began searching for the girl who would fit into the glass slipper. The palace men traveled around the kingdom until they reached Cinderella's house. Her stepmother tried to hide her and prevent her from trying on the shoes, but the palace men insisted. When Cinderella tried on the shoes, they fit her feet perfectly. When Cinderella's true identity was revealed, it was discovered that she was the daughter of royalty. Everyone, including the king, rejoiced that his son, the prince, had finally found a suitable life partner. The prince married Cinderella, regained her status as a princess, and lived happily with her husband in the royal palace.